Hey guys, it's me, Rodney.
It's me, Missy, and we're live with Rusty Acrylics.
Yep.
And today we're going to be flipping this piece of furniture, but we're going to be doing a couple of different things with it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Paint and stencil, basically.
Paint and stencil, but we're doing like a color mixtures. Like have you ever gotten on the Dixie Belle website? They have a color lab mixer, so you can pick 2 different colors and you can figure out what the ratio is and mix your own custom color. And so I had a thing of Farmhouse Green and a thing of Pure Ocean that I don't really use either one of those colors at all. I mean, Farmhouse Green I do, but not so much Pure Ocean. So I just started mixing the Pure Ocean with different colors to come up with a color that I liked, and Farmhouse Green was the mix for that. So we are going to be mixing some Dixie Belle paint, and we're going to be giving this piece a flip, a remake. And so it has this heart here, and I have a piece that we're going to cover this with, and we're also going to do some distressing. So I didn't want to sand this down to the bare wood because it looks like it has multiple layers of paint on it. So I just scuff sanded it, but I don't want the red to show through. So we are going to I'm not going to paint the whole thing, but I'm just going to hit the spots where I know I will distress. And we're going to use some petroleum jelly to distress it without having to get down to the red, because you can sand it, you can go through the base color all the way down to the red, and I don't want the red to show. So different things. And then we are going to do some stenciling. So when you lift this up, I want to give this right here a paint job, and then I want this to be stenciled so it's really pretty. Originally, I thought I was going to stencil the front, but I came across in my stash, I have one of those would you bin pieces that I kind of want to attach right here. So that will be my center right there, and then when you open this up, that's where my stencil is going to be, so that way it's pretty. So if you did leave it propped open and had like a blanket or something inside of it, this would look pretty too. So that's my goal. That's my plan for this piece today.
All right. Tina, how are you doing this morning?
Hi.
My chat's not working on the screen, so I'm having to use my mobile device. Sandy is here. She said hello.
Hi.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, Margie. Margie's here. Kat's here.
Hi, Kat.
And then I was trying to put y'all may have noticed me put a black box on the screen. I was trying to put it up there so you guys could see the chat as it pops up. And then I got to thinking, well, you're watching the video, so you probably already have your chat pulled up on the side. So I don't know why I was trying to be extra, but Missy's shaking her head. It's me. I try to be extra.
Okay, so the first thing I want to go ahead and get done, and so that way it can be
Kathy
drying.
said good morning.
Good morning.
And Teresa Strickland's joining us from Indiana.
Ah. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go ahead and get where I'm going to use drop cloth, and I want to go ahead and get paint what I want to distress painted white. So when I go to wipe off my top color, the white is what's showing through. But I want to go ahead and do that and get that dry. I do have my heat gun, and I will use it, so you probably will see Cammie, and I probably will turn off my mic, but please help me to remember to turn my mic back on when I'm done with the heat gun.
I may just, if you let me, I'll just mute all the mics, so just in case she barks.
Okay.
That way nobody's deafened by her bark.
I don't want to do that, yeah.
Hi, Jamie. How are you doing today?
So this piece goes on the back of it. I went ahead and took the screws out because I didn't want to paint it on because it can give paint buildup right there. So I went ahead and took it off. And I did, and you can see where I went ahead and scuff sanded it. The red came through, came off pretty easy, but this would be a lot of red to come off. It would be a lot of sanding. I really didn't want to do that much sanding. So let's paint it white.
I have to answer the phone.
You have to answer the phone? Yep. Oh. Hold on. I don't know if he has. I don't know if he has my mic on or off. So let's see. I don't know if he has my mic on or off. Okay, so he does have my mic on. I didn't know. He said he was turning the mics off. I didn't know if he was turning his mic off or my mic off. I did, yeah, and I was like, I don't know if they're gonna hear me or not. I didn't know. Sorry about that, yeah.
Tina said, we can hear you. Everybody's saying you're on. It's on.
I didn't have the chat pulled up on my phone, and I was like, I don't know if he's got mine on or off. And then I was just walking around, and then I tried to look at the computer, and it just overwhelmed me with all kinds of stuff that you have on there, and I was like, well, either they hear me or they don't. Okay, so like I said, we're going to I'm not really going to do a full paint job. I'm just wanting to go over where I would normally distress.
Tam said, loving that t-shirt, Lowell.
Oh, right? Right?
Made it.
It's not cold here today, so I was excited that I could just put on a t-shirt and just go. Yeah, I didn't know. I was like...
No, I only turned off my mic because I would be the one in the back talking to the doctor's office.
I got it.
What kind of table is that, Margie asked?
You know, I don't know. It's like, it's not big at all, but it's deep. So this is the whole storage unit right here. And then it just has the heart wood cut out. So
and it's got a dry sink backer. So maybe I think it's a kid's toy.
Is it a...
I think it's a kid's room toy. Or a kid's room box.
Is it a custom piece of furniture? Like, did somebody make it like this?
Yeah, I think so. Because otherwise it wouldn't have a heart on it.
Right. Well, I mean, in the 80s, heart furniture was pretty popular.
My dad built quite a bit of it for my mom.
Yeah, so...
Sandy said, I love it.
It's cute, but I'm going to cover the heart up because... not everybody is a fan of the heart furniture.
It does, Margie. The top piece does go on it.
Yeah, so this piece goes on it like that.
We just paint it separate. That way it doesn't get a bunch of paint buildup right there in that crease.
Yeah, so...
because if you ever need to move it and you take that off and then you pull the piece back, it'll tear the paint, which is really not good looking.
So I'm just giving it...
we learned that one from experience.
Yeah. I'm just kind of doing... I said I wasn't going to paint the whole piece, but it's actually easier if I just go over it.
Well, yeah.
I'm just not worried about full coverage.
Yeah, you don't need to be thick. But, yeah, you'd want to paint it all that anyways because you're going over it with that green color. And that'll give you an easier time than trying to go over the red.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Easier time than trying to go over the red.
You just don't got to worry about full coverage. Like, you don't have to worry if it's, like, all the way covered. It's not that big of a deal. Already looks different just painting it white.
Margie said, very cute. Are you supposed to hang towels on that top piece and maybe put a picture on the table? I know that's what you're supposed to do on the big ones.
Yeah, I think you could easily, do that. It would be a cute little bathroom towel storage thing because you could put your towels in there.
But like putting a ewer on it with a basin, you need a smaller one because a full-size one most definitely would not fit.
Right.
Because I'd say it's probably about 18 inches thick or deep. 18 inches deep.
This is just it's a cute piece. But I felt like we could give it just a little bit of an updated second chance type thing. I like the red. Red's not my choice of furniture color, but if you like primitive, you know, red is good if you do that.
Hello, Donna. How are you doing?
Hi.
I'm always interrupting Missy when she's talking. Sorry about that. Oh, cool. You know those custom emojis?
Yes.
I can actually post those in the chat. That's so cool. It's amazing. I want to do big eyes. Big eye corgi.
All right, there we go.
We're only limited to 4 though. It's lame.
It probably would have been easier if I would have flipped this over and painted the bottom side and then flipped it back and did the top. But you know how I always think of those things after I start painting this way. But not a problem, not a problem.
Oh, here's high. Hi. That's too funny. Those are cute.
There we go. I just need to paint this side.
Mom always says long way, wrong way, or hard way, Kat said.
Yep. Let me shut this back. Oh, let me just paint on the side. Because all I'm trying to do is just cover this side instead of flipping it around.
Yeah. Donna said that one Missy must have turned on the heat tool. And it's the corgi with the eyes popping out of its head.
Yeah, that's me turning the heat tool on. Yeah. With Cammy. Yeah. She came after me yesterday when I had the heat gun out. Goodness gracious, that dog does not like anything that makes a sound like that at all.
All you have to do is touch the vacuum cleaner. Just touch it. It doesn't have to make a sound. And I don't know. She hears it and she comes running, barking. Rah, rah, rah. It's so crazy. The vacuum, now the heat gun, my drill. But I'll tell you what. When she wants to go outside, if I have turned on the lawnmower within the last couple hours, she will not go outside.
All right, so I'm not really too much focusing on this part right here. I'm just wanting to get where any of the paint kind of like globbed. And then we'll worry about that once I get this side kind of
Because that's where you're going to be stenciling at, right?
Yeah, I'm going to stencil on that one. So I'm going to paint it. But I just wanted to make sure that any of the globs of paint that went under, you know. I got that, but I need that side to be fully painted.
I got you.
And I need to do this one too. So let's see if I can scoot this back just.
What I need is some of those little custom animations I can play. Like when Cammy comes running in here to bark, I can pop it up on the screen and show the eyes popping out of the corgi's head.
Yeah.
Animated.
Yeah.
That would take some time. Okay. I could probably do that in Krita. Since they
all right, so let me get this.
Maybe Motion Studio or Mirage. Margie said her two does the same thing, even when my husband gets out the measuring tape or even opens the drawer.
If it's loud enough, yeah, that will definitely be
opening
Cammy.
a drawer. Boy, that would.
Because Cammy can get like that when the washer gets a little bit too loud. She comes running in here at the washer like she's going to do something.
Donna, she did lightly sand it, and she sanded around the edges of the top piece. So when she goes to distress it, it'll be
Right. Yes, I did scuff sand the whole entire piece, and then I cleaned it really good. I think this is chalk paint on it. It could be a latex paint. It's hard to tell. Just kind of have a feeling it's more latex.
Well, I think it's chalk paint because it didn't clog up the sander.
It didn't clog up the sander. It's just in some places.
Latex will ruin your sandpaper.
Yeah, some places it's so thick that but it could just be the
Some people coat with a heavy hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just lightly sanded it.
Yeah, the majority of it I used a sand and block. And then I did use the power sander on like the really thicker pieces.
We had to use the power sander on the front of it for sure
Yeah.
because I had put this glue on there to hold up this plate that was covering over the heart.
But
which we'll be putting a plate over the heart too.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a little bit different. I think ours is going to look a little bit better.
Yeah. Let me see if I
What else did that's all you did, right?
That's all I did besides clean it up.
Yeah. Well, just normal cleanup.
Yeah, clean up, scuff sanded it. I went ahead and took this piece off because I knew I didn't want to paint it on. Oh.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts if Cammie barked every time we opened or closed a drawer.
Oh, yeah, because we open and close doors quite
constantly.
often. Yeah.
Oh,
It just has to be really loud for Cammie to bark.
No, because she'll bark if I go in there and touch the vacuum cleaner.
Well, yeah, that.
What was it I did the other day? I rolled my computer chair.
Too loudly. You did it too loudly.
Or I walked too quickly.
Okay, let me get this piece
That's
out of
my
my
favorite,
way.
when you walk too quickly. Margie said it is very annoying. I bet it is.
Yeah. Get this out of my way.
Kaylee actually told Cammie to be quiet last night.
Did she?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure I don't have any runs anywhere. But it looks like I'm going to be good. And we're just going to let this dry.
So Kayla was so funny last night, guys. She come in here and she sat down. And usually she doesn't come in here and watch TV with me anymore. She hasn't done that in a while. So she comes in here and she sits down. She grabs the remote control and she turns on SpongeBob SquarePants. We haven't watched that show since she was a little kid. And we're sitting there for 3 hours, right? Wasn't it about 3 hours?
It was a while.
It was like 6 episodes. We watched 6 episodes of SpongeBob together. And I couldn't believe it. I was super happy about that. Even though it was SpongeBob.
Okay, so this is going to dry. So I should work on this piece so I can get it drying, right? Because I'm going to attach it.
Yeah, that should be a quick.
And then I'm going to paint all of this. Yeah. Okay, so this is wood you bend. And you know, you heat it up to make it soft. And this is just another one of those scrap block woods. And that's what we're going to use to cover it. And I want this to go on it like that. So this is a little bit bigger than my piece of wood. So what I'm going to do is heat it up and use a razor blade. And I'm going to cut off the pieces that I don't want to use. Which is, there's one piece that's already broken off, so that's why I'm trying to make sure that I get it lined up. So I'm just going to cut off these little excess pieces. So I am going to use my heat gun to heat it up and a razor blade to be able to cut it off. I don't know if you can see me do that or not, but.
Not on the ground, but hold on, I'll push this down.
Because this is how I'm going to do it, like this is the easiest way. You know,
I won't be able to zoom in, I don't think. Yeah, I will too. Look at that. Sorry if the footage got jittery there for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it.
So I'm going to turn my heat gun on.
Okay. I'll just turn the volume down.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah, it gets really soft really fast.
Really soft.
Kathy said, I love SpongeBob. I'm currently wearing some SpongeBob PJ pants.
Nice. All right, so.
I wish my grands wanted to watch it with me.
We'll just take that.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I was when Kaylee came in here and I didn't say a word. I was just like, what episode are we going to start with? And it was episode 2. Because
really
we have all 14 seasons of it.
Yeah. The kids used to watch it all the time.
The cat said, Cammy.
Cammy. And then voila. So it's cut off.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and...
And it trims really easy when it's warm.
It does, really
easy.
easy. And it's bendable.
So it's made to bend around furniture if you want to. It's pricey.
It's pricey. It is pricey.
Like really pricey.
I'm just going to go ahead and glue it to this background. And I'm going to use my...
Art glitter glue.
Trusty art glitter glue.
That is true, Sandy. They do grow up so fast.
And I'm just going to kind of go on
Emily's at the store right now working.
Yes.
Holding down the fort.
Emily, Cat.
That's right. Emily and Cat holding down the fort.
They're so good to us. Well, work the store so we can do this.
Do this and a bunch of other stuff, right?
Yeah.
We have like 200 items we're going to be taking in this afternoon.
I took another piece of furniture this morning when I went and opened up the store.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. So as soon as I get done with this live, I'm going to the store to
tag everything and put it out.
Get all of my stuff in my booth. Where did I cut it off at?
That way we don't... See, we're there tomorrow. That way
Yeah,
we don't
work
have to work on it tomorrow.
I'm going to kind of use my thumbs to kind of measure it. And I'm just going to push it down. I've never had a problem using art glitter glue and to hold stuff like this down on my furniture.
Well, it's a good glue, for sure. I'm glad everybody recommended it.
And it sets up really fast. Let's see if I can get the excess glue off right here.
If it's thin enough, you could probably just paint over it.
Yeah, I will be able to paint over it. I just getting that little piece. So I'm just going to let that sit. Make sure I put my needle back in my glue so I don't lose my glue. Because that's what we're going to put it. Which I can go ahead and put it on there actually now.
All right, let me move your camera into the zoom position.
I'm going to let you go back over there before, and I'm going to make sure I got this all the way dry before I put glue on it.
Golly.
When you paint stuff that has a lid, it's good to like try to keep it propped or whatever, but mainly so that way it doesn't glue shut. I'm just going to use a paintbrush to keep it open.
There we go. I got you. You said mute the mic.
Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that all of this is dry before I put my glue on there.
Okay, you got paint on the camera.
Easy. Cammy. You're a goof.
You are a goofy pup.
You are a goofy pup. So I'm just going to turn my hot glue gun on. But if you can see it right, you'll be able to tell me if I'm straight, right?
Yeah, you're straight right there.
Before I go through and add my glue. If I had a baby level, I could make sure it's level.
No, you need to bring up the right side. Just dropped it down.
Right there?
Yep. Now move your hands out of the way. Yeah. Hold on, let me look at the front camera. It's dead on.
Is it?
Yeah, you're right. You're dead on.
Okay.
Margie said that's going to be pretty.
Do you have a pencil?
No, I don't have a pencil.
Can you give me a pencil?
Where am I supposed to get a pencil at?
Just give me something that I can make a mark.
Here's a pen.
Thank you. So kind of
If I would have known you wanted a baby level, you could have got one from the
I
store in a
know.
bag.
I know.
In my tool bag. Cat said I like the heart.
I knew Cat
But
would.
this will look more sophisticated.
I knew Cat would like the heart. I like the heart too. It's just this will give it a new look.
Updated.
An updated look. So as long as I line those up right. Does that still look right?
Yeah. As long as you lined it up
right. As long as I lined it up right, yeah. It'll be good.
Hearts aren't for everyone, Kat said.
That's right, that's right.
Kathy likes the heart too.
Yeah, I mean I do too.
Yeah, right.
I do. So I'm just gonna put some art glitter glue on here just to be extra.
Just to be extra. Now you sound like me. They're always telling me how extra I am.
I'm also going to use this hot glue, Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla hot glue?
Mm-hmm. If I could get it a little bit hotter. My green light came on, but it's not ready.
Extra is good, Kathy said.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Like that fancy hot glue gun, Kat said.
Yeah. It comes in handy.
It was cheaper than the Gorilla Glue gun. But cordless has its advantages.
It does.
Lisa said, hey guys, sorry I'm late. You're not late, Lisa. You arrived precisely when you meant to. That's what I always say.
Let me make
never
sure.
late. Of course, I did copy that from Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
Still look right?
Yep. Push, push. Don't push too hard. Not in the middle anyways.
No, because of the heart.
You know what's good for hearts?
What?
Beans.
Oh my gosh. Get out of here. All right. So it feels almost dry. Give me like 2 seconds.
Okay, hold on. You gotta let me get a chance. I'm gonna mute, guys.
Pretty quick.
Lisa said, exactly, beans.
Beans.
Guys, did y'all hear about that new movie that's coming out? Well, it was coming out. It was called Constipation.
Oh my gosh, get out of here with your dad jokes.
It never came out. I can't believe it.
Your dad jokes. Okay, so this is just petroleum jelly.
And the delivery was wrong.
Petroleum jelly, right? So you could use gloves for this, but my gloves are not in here, so it's fine. So I'm just going to use my fingers, and I'm just going to put some on.
So what are you using petroleum jelly for?
To be able to distress so that the red doesn't come back through, so that the white can come through. So it is messier a little bit, but not really. So you're just going to want to kind of put it on there just a little bit thick, because when I come through with my second coat, that's not going to be able to it's not going to paint the furniture because I've got the petroleum jelly on there. So I'm just going to be able to wipe it back off. Kind of the same thing with like the candle wax.
Except for less work involved. Also, guys, if you're going to do this, make sure you use an extra brush so you can not use this again because you don't want to contaminate your paint.
Right.
Even if you have it in a second container, you don't want to contaminate it. So
you just want to remember.
Make it the last thing you do, the last area that you paint over.
Yeah.
Because it's not like crackle, which crackle would have looked good if she'd have used crackle.
I thought about that, but I was like, for the live, it's going to be harder.
No, it starts crackling within the first couple minutes.
But you got to let it dry. You got to let the crackle dry.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to prep it ahead of time.
Yeah, I would have had to prep it ahead of time.
Or work on something else while you're waiting on the crackle to dry. Lisa says she's got to tell her husband that one.
The what? Oh,
the movie joke.
The movie joke, yeah. Yeah.
Make sure he delivers it right, because I set it up wrong. Delivery was okay. The setup was wrong.
Just kind of putting it on there.
There was another one I wanted to tell, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I got that. Let's go with that. Let's go with that and just see how it goes, how it works out. Okay, so like I said, you can do, you can mix Dixie Belle chalk paint with Dixie Belle chalk paint, and you can mix silk with silk, but you cannot mix silk with Dixie Belle chalk paint. So just know that. And then I just have a mason jar, and I just want to make sure that I have enough to cover. So my mason jar says 400 and 800, so I'm going with the 400 with one color.
I got you on the overhead camera, so it's going to be this one that's over the shoulder up here. Is the main view.
Because that would be about a 50-50 ratio.
Usually we go ahead and pour these into
Then I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with the 800.
In those squeeze bottles. That way she could have just squeezed the paint in there, but these are brand new, and we haven't washed all the squeeze bottles to decontaminate the inside.
And the most important part is to mix.
Stir, stir, and stir. If you're having problems stirring, you may want to spray a little bit of water in there.
Because it is thick and thick. So Pure Ocean is a pretty color.
She doesn't like it though.
Farmhouse Green is a pretty color. But I don't know. I mean, like, maybe if we lived on the coast, you know, Pure Ocean, if we had a lot of, you know, reason to do that. But where we live at, it's not really a reason to do a coastal or nautical theme, you know.
Right.
We don't really have that here.
We have the river.
We do, but that's a different
aesthetic.
So just mix, 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 mix.
Yeah, see? Kat said it would be a pretty blue for lake houses.
Yeah.
Lake houses are colorful.
I wish I had a...
Like in New Orleans, those houses were really colorful too. The one time I was there.
Honestly, you can do whatever you want. I say that all the time. You don't have to live at the beach to have a beach theme room. I would like a longer stirring stick.
Where's your
5
5-gallon paint sticks? We go to Lowe's, we're going to pick up a 10-pack of paint stirrers. Actually, we're going to pick up several 10-pack of paint stirrers.
Let me see if I can use it. Yeah, this is big. The end of this paintbrush is bigger. Most important thing is to mix it up really, really good. Because you don't want to get halfway through and then start painting a different color.
And this is a 1-to-1 mix on this one?
Yeah, 50-50.
1-to-1 is the ratio. That's 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So that would be Farmhouse Green and Pure Ocean.
Pure
correct?
Ocean, and it's giving me this really pretty It's almost, it's like a mint color. It's really pretty.
Yeah, when you get done, hold it up towards this camera right here.
Actually, let me get a spatula so I can
get it off the sides.
Get it off the sides.
Make sure it's that silicone one.
Yeah, yeah. That's the one I use for this all the time. Really wanted...
There's one leaning up against the drawer. There you go.
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
Oh man, that's my.
It's okay. I can get another one.
That's my Pioneer Woman one.
Yeah, your Pioneer Woman one.
Judy, good morning.
There we go. I'm just trying to make sure I get it all off the sides so I don't accidentally.
Oh, yeah. Judy said good morning, so I got to do the wavy thing. The wavy emoji. There we go.
I really like this color. Well, you know what? It's kind of close to sea glass, but not. It's not quite sea glass.
Do you ship Dixie Belle paint to Tennessee? We do.
We sure do.
We'll ship it anywhere except for outside the continental United States.
There you go, yeah. All right, which camera did you say hold up to?
This one.
Can you see it good?
Yeah, here it looks like. Hold it up to the other one because that one looks like sea glass. Let me switch cams. There you go. And that is the paint she created
with those two. So
with
you want
Pure Ocean.
Yeah, and Farmhouse
and
Green.
Farmhouse Green.
It's
1-to-1 mix.
1-to-1 mix. It's not quite the same as
It
sea
is
glass.
a darker color than sea glass.
Yeah.
Judy said, that's a lot of paint you're mixing there.
It is, but you'd rather have
Oh my gosh.
more than enough paint.
That looks really good going on.
Yeah. You don't want to, because your chances of making sure you got it right the second time, it's better to have too much than not enough. So whatever I don't use, I'm just going to put the lid to my jar on really good, and then I'll be able to save it for another project.
Cammy and Lily's in there playing.
Yeah, I hear them.
Judy said, love that color. Lisa said, that is gorgeous.
It's pretty. And that's the good thing about Dixie Belle's paints is that you can mix them up really easy. You really can. So you can, but like I said, you can get on Dixie Belle's website.
I'll post a link real quick.
And use their color, what's it called again?
Color mixer.
Color mixer. And
Color Lab, my bad.
Yeah, Color Lab. And you just pick whatever colors, and you can do ratios. Like this was 50-50, but you can do 80-20 or however that goes. So that way you can custom make your own colors. So I'm not hitting where my petroleum jelly is quite yet.
So that link right there, guys, takes you to their color mixer tool under the Color Lab at Dixie Belle Paint Company's website.
Right.
Used to, we just played around with colors. Then they came out with the color mixer, and I was like, holy cow, now we can create what we want without having to experiment.
Right.
Like when I was making terracotta, because we ran out, that was a process. But now it wouldn't be such a process.
Yeah, I still like mixing the colors.
And it helps you match colors too. Like if you have a color you want to match, you can go to the Color Lab and they have a match a color.
Yeah.
And you just upload your color image there. Like if you have one of those paint cards, you just you take a picture of it, you upload it for me, I scan it so it gives a more accurate representation, and then you throw it up there, and it'll help you pick the right color combination to make that color. And you can, like Missy said, you can change it from parts. Like in my mind, it's 1-to-1. In Missy's mind, it's 50-50.
50-50.
But that's because when you paint cars and stuff, which is something I did way back young when I was younger, everything had to be mixed in parts. And then Missy uses the percentages. So it lets you do both if you're familiar with both. Judy said, what a great tool to have. I did not know that was available.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fairly new. I say it came out within the last 6 months.
I think it's been out longer than that. But
do you?
Yeah, because I've used it a little bit before. It's been out for a minute, yeah.
When were we doing terracotta? We couldn't get terracotta, so I was having to make it using rusty nail,
actually been,
kernel mustard. That would have been when Dixie Belle came out with the color mixer.
Yeah.
I think. Or that's when
that
I
might
was
be when
aware
we
that
discovered
it was available.
it. Yeah.
But yes, it is very nifty.
Very, very.
Nifty gifties.
I do like this color a lot.
Yeah, the overhead cam doesn't show it as accurate as the front cam does. I wonder why. It's probably the white balance.
Let me get this side. There we go. Yeah.
I got as close as I can get by adjusting it. It's just not the same quality as the front camera is. That's what I need, is the color chart to match up the color I'm wanting to do on a jewelry box. Large standing jewelry box, Donna said.
Oh, oh, I see. I get what she's saying. Yeah. And then, like I said, you can mix chalk paint and chalk paint, but you can't mix silk and silk.
You mean silk and chalk paint?
Yeah, you can't mix silk and chalk paint, but you can mix silk and silk. So if you liked colors that are on the silk category, you can
fine tune those and mix those as well.
You can easily. So I'm just gonna use a different brush.
If you use Dixie Belle's paper chart, it's not accurate
as
to the color. If you have somebody that has a color wheel, that to me is the only accurate color representation. Now, used to, when their charts first came out, they were very accurate. But the last two iterations, not so much. So I always tell people, when I give them to somebody or somebody picks one up at the store, I tell them, that's not exactly how it's going to look when it's dry. And then I refer them to the color wheel and show them. That way they'll get a pretty good. And depending on the monitor that you're using, like if I was using this laptop monitor, I wouldn't trust it over my desktop monitor.
I always turn the brightness on my phone up because I'm always looking at it on my phone. I always turn the brightness of my phone up. So I put some paint on this cardboard because I'm painting on top of my... That's thunder. It's okay. It's okay. It's just thunder. It's just thunder. It's just thunder.
Ooh, that was rough stuff.
It's just thunder, Cam.
Yikers.
I'm painting on top of the Vaseline. And I don't know if you can really tell, but it's very, very light pressure is what I'm putting on it so I don't move the Vaseline. And you can see where you're painting over it. You can see it, like once you get the paint on it, You can see because it's like very globby. And this stops me from putting my paint in my jar.
Yes.
Just going over.
Because you know that's a habit we both have, is dipping directly into the jar.
Right. This way it just stops me from doing that. But I mean very light pressure, very, so that way I'm not moving the Vaseline, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, because you don't want to spread the Vaseline around.
Yeah, I'm not trying to spread it around.
And Vaseline is a really good product to use if you're using spray paint too. Like, let's say you're painting a mirror, but you don't want to tape it off, so you just slather some Vaseline all over the mirror. Then you just wipe the Vaseline off and then clean it up with some rubbing alcohol when you're done. And then it'll just come right off. I forgot what else I used Vaseline for. One time we used it on the rubber on window seals because we ran out of tape after taping the windows off, and that worked too. That was a long time ago though. Golly, there we go. I changed scenes and everything changed up.
Get this out of the way.
But yeah, that is a pretty color. I would love to paint my roll top desk, but afraid I'll make a mess. I love the farmhouse look, Lisa said. She wants to paint a roll top desk. We just did a roll top jewelry.
Yeah, if you honestly, if you're trying to paint it in your house and you're not trying to take it outside to sand it, if you would use the bonding boss and put a coat of bonding boss on it, and that would save you from having to sand it down.
Because sanding a roll top is a monster.
It is a monster. So if you did it that way, that would cause you to not have to move it outside or anything like that. You bonding boss it, and then you can even bonding boss clear, so that way if you were to distress it and you go back to when you take the chalk paint back, you'll have the original wood,
right?
So you can get it bonding boss in clear, white, and gray, right? But if you use it in clear, you don't have to worry about that color showing through. You can let the wood show through. And for a roll top desk, the majority of it, you will be able to use a foam roller to roll the paint on, which is
really easy.
Really easy.
And as long as it's a cabinet grade roller, you won't have to worry about any texture at all.
Right. That is really easy. You take your foam roller and you just soak it in water. You submerge it all the way into the water, and then you squeeze it out, and then you use the excess. That way your foam roller doesn't absorb all your chalk paint.
And it's totally wet.
Yeah, it's totally wet. And then you can foam roll the majority of the desk, and then just use a paintbrush to do your, edges and stuff like that. Those cabinet foam rollers they make painting furniture really easy, especially big pieces like that.
We use them on dressers all the time.
And then they help you get that smooth finish. But like I said, if you're not trying to take it outside and scuff sand it or anything like that, you can use the bonding boss that way your paint will for sure adhere to the piece, and then come back through the next day after 24 hours and paint it with your roller, and then you can easily distress it.
The right hand side.
Yeah, I was just looking over here to make sure, because when I go to open that up, I'll be able to get the inside of that.
Right.
But I need to make sure I don't got no drips.
Oh, that's all that Lisa said. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'll be writing down notes.
Yeah. It's that for a piece like that, that's a monster piece really when you're talking about painting it, but it really is doable. It's not anything to be like scared of or anything like that. It's real simple. You just boss it, bonding boss it. You don't got to move it because usually roll top desks are really heavy. Bonding boss it, a coat, wait about an hour and a half, put your second coat on, then walk away from it for 24 hours. Then you can come back through and you can paint, let it dry, second coat, and then if you're wanting to distress it, you can just take a sanding sponge and just lightly distress it wherever you want and then seal it up. You can seal it up with a clear coat or you can seal it up with wax. Which on a big piece like that, I would go with wax just because it's easier to wax that kind of furniture than it is to clear coat it because that's a lot. And then you don't want your clear coat to like get puddled up or anything, especially in the roll top, because if you let it puddle up, it can yellow. So there is that. So I want to touch that again, but I know that that's just my petroleum jelly. So I need to let this dry.
Probably need to dab up into the piece a little bit right there.
This?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was paying attention to.
Like at the top right there.
To make sure I didn't have like globs.
No, there's a piece that's uncovered on the top. Painting in these can be difficult, guys.
It's just attention to detail.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm going over all of it to make sure I get all the excess paint off too.
There you go, you got it. She got it. But yeah, excess paint can cause problems too, especially on a really detailed surface like that. It can dull some of the accents. Because that's essentially what you're wanting to do with a piece. That's why it's on a piece of backer board and then gets put on that. Is we're making that stand out to create dimension on the piece itself.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good so far. So good.
I do too. I do too.
So
I can either wipe it now while it's wet, or I can let it dry a little bit.
You're supposed to let it dry. That way you don't accidentally wipe away other stuff. Because I mean, if you're putting a second coat on it though, you shouldn't have put that Vaseline on there yet at all.
Well, you have to, because your first coat would have been this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you put the Vaseline on before your second coat.
But then you'll be second coating over the Vaseline coated surface.
No, here, just mute me for a minute.
Okay, you'll have to mute yourself. There you go. Oh, Kimmy, barking. The Kimmy bark meter. Stop barking. Yeah, you're a good pup. But don't bark. We'll all appreciate it if he didn't bark. Old dog had us worried the other day. But she's fine. Turned out nothing was wrong with her. Margie said, Cammy, heart. Cammy's a goofy. Yeah, 14-year-old golden retriever. 13.
She's going on.
She'll be 14 this year.
Yeah.
Yep. I think she just ate some bad grass that day. That's what she gets for going out there and eating grass. Gave her some rice and vegetables. A little bit of beef broth.
Because
fix her right up.
It's drying, you know, the paint is the paint is like.
Thank you, Kat. Kat says she's glad Sassy's doing better.
Yeah, we all are for sure. I kind of just want to mist this a little bit.
Lisa, she is. She's got a pretty reddish golden coat with a white face.
White face.
A white face. Margie said her two are about that old. Her rescue goes to the vet all the time. We're lucky. We haven't really had to take ours to the vet all that often just to get the regular shots and checkups. Our power just blinked.
Oh shucks!
Again, yep. So the feed drops, guys. It's going to be a power failure.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. So we're on co-op. Co-op's pretty good about keeping everything up and running. Margie said we're very blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Especially with because Sassy got hit as a pup and it broke her hip. And that we had to have her hip.
Should have major surgery.
Major surgery. We didn't have the money to have the surgery, so our vet referred us to a guy who could do it, and then he did it for cheaper and let us make payments on it. So that was really nice.
Yeah. I kind of can't decide if I like it distressed like that or not. I definitely want to dry brush this with drop cloth, so that way that stands out more.
Let me switch to main camera there so they can try to see, or
but see, this
overhead
is still
only so they can see that distressing
wet
that you get from it.
But see, like it just takes it, and you don't have to worry about the red showing through.
Right.
This definitely needs to be dry brushed. But this is still wet, so that's why I'm kind of like just letting it.
Yeah, I thought for sure that it would need to be.
You can do it either way, they say. You know, like I've always usually I do the candle method, but even with the candle method, I felt like I would have went through. I would have went through the white to the red.
Karen says she loves the green.
I do too.
And that green's a 1-to-1 mix, 50-50, pure ocean and farmhouse green. And that's how we got that color.
Yeah.
Because I had a 32-ounce container of pure ocean.
I got too much petroleum jelly on it.
Yeah, it looks like I spread around too much.
I was trying to be really careful with that.
It almost looks like it's eating up your existing paint as well.
Doesn't it?
Maybe candle method would have been the best.
I think candle method would have been better for what I was wanting to do.
Live and learn.
Live and learn.
That's the problem with trying new techniques. Sometimes they don't work the way you want them to. Karen said, lovely, I'll review later. I'm in the car. Well, be careful. Be careful driving. I used to listen to YouTube videos on my way to work. That's how I learned how to program JavaScript. Every day. Listening to tutorials.
Alright, so I'm just going to wipe this off.
Because what? Because why? You can't what? Can't like it? Yeah. Kathy said your mic's still off, Missy.
Thank you. I can't like it. So I'm just going to kind of wipe this off.
I guess petroleum jelly works for other stuff.
I mean, it does work. But I feel like, I don't know. But you know what?
It works a little too well, maybe.
Maybe that, or maybe I put too much on. But then at the same time, this piece might not would have wanted that. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with the petroleum jelly peeling all your paint off or eating right through your paint.
This piece said, no, I don't want to look like this. Because I got it too much.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about when we talked about it this morning. When I said it'll spread real easy. End up doing what you don't want to do. It works great for mirrors and spray paint, all right? Because you're not moving at all when you're using spray paint. Or if you're spraying it with a spray gun, it doesn't move.
It's okay though. We're going to fix this really easily. Don't you worry.
The best bet would have been candle wax and then lightly scraping with a plastic scraper as opposed to a metal scraper. That way it doesn't scrape through all the layers of paint.
Because I have enough paint to paint this cabinet more than once.
Like 6 or 7 times. So this will be a paint that we have to figure out what we're going to do with. We're going to have to paint more stuff with it.
Well, that's easy.
Hey, at least you didn't put it on that back piece yet.
No, I didn't. I'm kind of glad I didn't either.
Yeah, me too. I think you got it all off.
I'm just going to make sure. Because I didn't hit over there. I didn't go right there. Let me stand up.
You live and learn.
It's a good thing about Dixie Belle paint is it is forgiving. It is forgiving. It's almost like I'm color washing it now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. A color wash.
Yeah.
Because you're getting it really wet.
Mm-hmm.
Like really wet.
There we go. All right.
Back to square one, guys.
Let's start over.
So that experiment failed.
Let's start over. It didn't fail miserably. It's an easy fix.
Oof. Thunder.
I thought that the thunderstorm wasn't supposed to be here until
1 o'clock.
Yeah, tonight.
Let's look at nws.noaa.gov.
So we will paint this back over.
Nope.
Not a problem.
First alert, weather.
Not a big deal.
12 p.m., 100% chance of thunderstorms.
Wow.
93 at 1. Golly. It's 100% all the way till 6 o'clock. At 7 p.m., it drops to 89%.
I knew it was supposed to be like that all day.
Now let's look at the map. Futurecast. I know sometimes Futurecast isn't as accurate as it used to be.
All right.
Yeah, it shows it coming over.
Let's go over this.
It's going to storm at our house at 1:39 p.m.
1:39?
Yep. And that's according to Futurecast.
Let's see.
And then 1:54.
Come over here.
Ooh. The main part will be coming through at 4 o'clock.
Our kids have a big weekend this weekend. They got a big church thing.
3:11's when it starts hitting big. We're supposed to have storms too, Margie said.
Really?
Kathy said, I love thunderstorms. I can't wait for them. We're still getting occasional snow.
Ugh.
Yeah, I wouldn't want the occasional snow.
I guess I'd rather have thunderstorms than snow. Oh, I dropped it. I want to go ahead.
We had a thunderstorm like, 6 months ago, and it hit our neighbor's house and burnt it to the ground. It was so scary.
There we go.
And it's like all the fire departments were there.
Go ahead and give this a coat of paint.
And they just could not get it stopped. And they were there fast, like within minutes of that lightning strike.
They
And
were.
all the fire departments got there super fast. I was like, I'm gonna put a lightning rod on our house out in the yard so it hit that. Still hadn't done it. But I did make sure that our one metal pole that sticks up beside the house, I did make sure it was reading the correct impedance at the ground rods, because that was a concern, because that's what those are for, to dissipate that. Because that was scary what happened that day.
It was. And it happened so fast.
Kat said poor Smokey will be a wreck tonight. Lisa said, make sure you guys stay safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be. I think the chance for tornado depended on the temperature outside and the rain. If I think what they said, if it rains first, then we shouldn't have a big issue with it, which is what it's doing right now. It's raining first.
All right.
So
Let me
that's the one thing. That's the thing I'm scared of, tornadoes.
Let me quit using that rag.
That big one rolled through Thorsby 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, that was pretty scary because it looked like it was coming right where we live at. I was like, let's drive down to Clanton. So we drove down to Clanton. When we came back, house is still here. And it never made it to Jemison. It stopped in Thorsby. But that was scary too. Kat said, I don't panic until I see James Span's suspenders. Yeah, he'll probably have them on today. In a little while. Margie said, we have lightning rods because I'm terrified of storms and they really help my anxiety.
Wow.
Yep. Our neighbors put a lightning rod in there. It was smart because they put a metal roof on their house. And that's got to be grounded. I would imagine it's got to be grounded. There's probably some NEC code that goes with that. And the code changes almost every year now. Because I remember 2022, 2023, they put in the code book that you could put a stove on a ground fault circuit interrupter. The breaker. So you're fixing to stencil that, right?
I want to do 2 coats. Because I didn't paint it white, I just painted it.
Oh, so it's bleeding through, yeah.
It's just a little bit darker than what I wanted, so I'm going to do 2 coats. But in order to stencil it, I got to dry it.
Yep.
I didn't turn my mic back on. So I went ahead and used my heat gun on it so I could get my second coat on there because I didn't paint it white beforehand, so the dark brown, really, it just needed the 2 coats to have the look that I'm going for. But I prefer not to heat gun, so if I can help it.
I wish I could zoom in on the SPC's website to see what they're saying about tornadoes. It looks like we're in a 5% area.
5%?
Yeah, for probability. We could be in the 2% area since we're in Jemison, but Quentin looks like it's in 5% area. So I guess the predictions were right from the other day.
I guess so.
Missy was like, I don't know, they're not showing that on the map. It doesn't look like that on the map.
It doesn't look like it on the map, but...
Judy said, I have been in 4 tornadoes in my life. Don't care to be in any more. I couldn't imagine that.
I couldn't
One was
either.
enough for me. Well, 2. One when I was a kid, when my parents went to Biloxi, and it missed our house. And then the second time was, golly, I was in Birmingham.
Yeah.
During that big one that rolled through. Holy cow. Donna said they have tornadoes there too. She said years ago her dad went to help with cleanup and saw a cow with a 2x4 going straight through it. That's crazy. The raw power that tornadoes have are insane. And you think about it, I mean, you see big trucks flipped over and stuff.
I know. It is really scary. For sure, for sure.
You're so funny.
It is. I don't like bad weather. For sure, for sure. Scary. Well, the dark wood would show. That's what I was scared of. But you know what? It's okay. It is.
Well, you got to think, essentially, you only have 1 coat on those areas because you wiped the first one off. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a pretty color.
I think so too.
I can't wait to see what you're going to stencil on it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that to dry a little bit before I throw my brush down.
There we go.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Just going over like lightly.
What the heck? Okay, there we go.
So now it stands out more, don't you think? Can you see it really good?
Yeah, you can see it really good.
Mm-hmm. Now it just stands out. I like that better than I like the heart. For sure.
Donna said also church was completely gone except for a pulpit, which still had the Bible open to where the pastor was reading.
Wow. Wow.
We had a big one in 2021, Margie said, and they were just kind of finishing things up, but you can still see the trees that were hit.
Wow.
Now, there's still trees on the ground in Thorsby. And that's been two years? But yeah, they big trees down. You know, you're used to seeing pine trees snapped or whatever, but not oak trees. Not giant oak trees. That's what we saw with that one. Now, that one from April, whatever, 2011, April 21st, 2011, I think. I was working in Birmingham when that one rolled through. Lisa said, that looks so good. Looks so much better than the heart. Amen. I'm not a big fan of hearts. I made a shelf, a heart shelf for Missy one time, and then I think I already told y'all this story, but it ended up accidentally broken.
So this is called Songbirds?
Yes.
The Songbird stencil.
Margie said, that's looking so pretty, Missy.
Thank you.
I think you should stencil the whole thing. Just use the branches and the flowers. Need some tape. It's all the way in the corner. You got it. She said, Donna said, that shows up really good. Very pretty. Talking about the
dry brush? Yep. Yeah. I like it too. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape right here.
Sorry I have to keep moving the camera so much, guys, but we'll get it done.
So, let's see. I mean, honestly, I don't have to tape that off. It'll just be cut off. It should be all right. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to stencil it like that and then push it.
Yeah, just don't add that other bird on there.
Just not that?
Yeah, just don't paint it.
That's what I was thinking about, like not painting that one. I'm not too much worried about the branches, but it was like the bird's head, you know?
Yeah, and then I would just take them and take to the left and use the same branches again, just about. Or use the branches from the bottom of the image. Yeah, that's what I would do. Use the branches from the bottom of the image on the right-hand side. Then blend it all in. Now you're going to distress the stencil, or are you going to leave it like that?
I have to just see how it turns out. I'm going to use this brush though, because it's a flat.
The zebra round brush.
Yeah, don't you think?
And it's got stiff bristles.
Yeah, it's stiff.
They're soft but stiff, or firm.
Right. So I'm just going to dip it in the paint and then use my cardboard.
Get me out of the way so I can see what you're doing. And get me out of the way. Oh, yeah.
I feel like the makeup one, I like it better than this one, actually. Yeah, I like it better. Oh, and I moved it. Where did I go? Today's not my day.
Yeah, I know. I noticed. I noticed. I noticed. You got it right there. Maybe use a bigger piece of tape.
Maybe.
1-inch piece of tape just doesn't work. Tina Adams said, "Good morning from Alberta, Canada."
Good morning.
Good morning, Tina.
While I'm over here struggling.
How's the weather there? It's thunderstorming here currently.
Yeah.
All right. So Missy's changing brushes, y'all, from the rounds.
Changing brushes.
Because she thinks that the
I like the makeup brush better.
Yeah.
It's softer. And it just goes on.
Tina said it's 6 degrees Celsius right now.
What the heck?
And sunny.
Nice.
Let's do a conversion real quick. I need to know what that is. Celsius to Fahrenheit. $42.8 degrees Fahrenheit. That is cold, but not as cold as you're used to. She said the hubby's out in the cabin, so the house is nice and quiet.
Nice.
I'm going to start going out to the cabin.
You go ahead.
I don't have a cabin.
No.
I have a shed.
You go ahead and go out.
There's no room out in the shed. You've filled it up with stuff.
You go ahead.
What color are you stenciling with?
Drop cloth.
How did we not guess that, guys? Drop cloth.
Drop cloth.
The most consistently used color. It's really funny. Did you get that one out of the back or out of the front?
Back.
Tina said, no, definitely not as cold as it was. This is almost light jacket weather. Yeah, 40 would be 48 something. Would be about light jacket weather here too. Still cold though.
Still cold.
Cold to me, but I'm cold when it's 60 degrees.
Not me.
You had it cold in the house the other day. Had it on 68 and I'm like, golly, come on, it's freezing cold in here. It's easier to go to sleep when it's cold. I know that.
Yeah, I prefer it to be cold over.
Donna said, do you have a doghouse? Because you're probably getting pretty close to being there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me. Yeah. No, but I'll just have to sit on my computer. That's what'll happen.
Let's see.
She'll say, go do some work on your computer. Yeah, -30 Celsius. That sounds like it's very, very, very cold.
That is too cold.
It is -22 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it is very cold. The doghouse.
The doghouse.
I don't get in the doghouse too often. I try to be encouraging, good job. You only put a 1-inch thing of tape on your stencil.
Yeah.
That's what'll land me in the doghouse right there. Ooh, yeah, I bet it'd be very hard on some arthritis. You know what? I couldn't because my left hand. Because my fingers turn purple when it's around 50 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So I couldn't handle that at all.
Please don't bleed.
I'd have to walk around with hot hands all the time.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, that looks really good actually.
That is really good. Okay, I'm gonna let it dry up some. before I go to the other side.
Margie said, as far as you know, anyway.
Right.
Talking about me and not getting in the doghouse that much.
That's right. Let's let that dry a little bit before I go through and stencil my other side. But I kind of want to just hit this up a little bit. And I am going to go through my white, but it's still showing up, so it's okay.
Lisa said, my best friend lives in Alaska and she thinks 23 is warm. I used to have a guy that was stationed in Alaska that worked with us, and he thought 23 was warm too. His first year here. His second year here, he thought it was cold. Because he learned what warm was real quick. I couldn't imagine living somewhere like Arizona or Nevada. Holy cow.
So I'm just going over it a little bit.
Margie said that is beautiful. Tina said that is pretty.
I'm liking it so far.
Teresa Strickland said that stencil is so pretty.
It is a very pretty stencil. Very pretty, I think. So that way, if you leave it open and you had stuff in it, that would look good. This looks good if you shut it. And just lightly going over the sides and kind of distressing it that way. A little bit of it's white showing through, a little bit of it's the red showing through, but it's not so much red, I guess more than I was worried about it being too red, but actually the red in this teal turquoise color kind of go together.
What's that stencil called?
Songbirds. It's isn't it called Songbirds? Yes, Songbirds.
Yep. Songbirds.
Songbirds.
Oops. By Dixie Belle Paint Company.
Yeah.
Do we have any more of these in stock, or do I have to order more?
You'll have to order more. You'll have to order more.
All right, here comes the heat gun. And the pup didn't come running. So we love that.
Getting used to it.
But yeah, the Songbird stencil is really pretty. I like their other stencils, like Greek Key, Mandala.
Yeah, they make a bunch of pretty ones.
They discontinued a bunch too, like Buffalo Check. And I think Harlequin, possibly.
I'm gonna go up.
Yeah, like that. I only have that one little bird. And then don't do the bird chest at the top right.
Because it's not really continuing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It tiles left and right.
It sure does. I just seen that too. Right there. And that would finish it off.
No.
Yeah, it would. That matches that. That matches that.
Oh, you could, or you could move the image up and then match them up and make those floral tips. But then you'll have the same bird on there twice. I guess it don't matter though.
It really don't matter.
It is cool.
And I still have that covered up because I still don't do the whole thing on that. I think it'll look good.
How much was this stencil? This stencil is $24.95. Your mic's off, Missy. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to. I need a remote or something so I can turn your mic back on for you.
That would be nice.
Lisa Green said they'll be lovebirds.
They will be lovebirds. It's cute. I like it. I like the color. I like the stencil.
So if you're just now joining us, the color we used for the green, the mint color, was 1 part pure ocean, 1 part farmhouse green, both Dixie Belle chalk paints. And then Missy dry brushed over the medallion with drop cloth. The stencil we're using is Songbird, and she is dabbing drop cloth onto the Songbird with a makeup brush, because the makeup brush loads well and applies your paint pretty smoothly.
It really does.
If you've never done a stencil before, when it's not when it's not adhesed down, when it doesn't have an adhesive to hold it down, so it's not adhered. I don't know why I said adhesed. I just make up words.
It's all right.
Anyways, when it's not adhered to the surface, like in this case, you make sure that you're going straight into the image. Tina Adams said multi-use makeup brushes. That's right.
Yeah.
I originally bought the makeup brushes because it's easier to do a dry brush technique that I'm wanting to do in one of the how-to videos. Because we're not done with the how-tos. It's one, we haven't had much time to do them. The second is I want to make sure I'm nailing down what I'm going to do in each one, and I want to keep each one within 2 to 3 minutes, so that way it's pretty simple. That is awesome. That looks great. It looks great really on camera good. Too. Did a really good job. You get a hard line where the 2 stencils met.
I see it.
But you can paint into that pretty
or
easy.
Or if I go through and distress it, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Kat said that is so cool.
Oh, I like it a lot.
Margie said gorgeous. Tina said beautiful. That is, did a good job on that one.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Use this brush to
Donna said amazing. Sandy said that goes with my decor.
It does.
Lisa said, oh man, that is stunning.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Let's get this painted so we can see like what the whole thing is going to look like.
That's pretty.
I really like this color.
I'm going to back you out so you can see. And then let me change scene. Okay, there we go. I can't resize the main camera for some reason.
Am I like blocking it or anything? Or
no, it just won't let me do it. Yeah, that don't work either. We'll stay there with those 2 scenes, I guess.
I like it. I cannot.
Tina Adams said, hubby's going to build toy boxes for each of our grandsons. Missy just gave me the idea to stencil them instead of just painting them.
Yeah. I said the other day, I was like, I don't know why I don't use stencils more. It's like I forget. You know, it's like I do something and then I forget. Oh, yeah, you can do this and you can do that. But I think it's just because like it's easy to get stuck in like a cookie cutter box, like to think that you have to do it this way. And if you paint as much furniture as I do, it's really easy to get stuck in thinking that you
can only do these certain things.
Right. I'm trying not to step on that. You could only do, yeah. So, that's why I'm constantly looking at what other people do and stuff like that. Because I like to just be like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Well, yeah, and there's a difference between production, which is what we do most of the time.
And it's never really the same thing because, like, honestly, it's all about the furniture that you either find or the furniture that you have. I just like it for, like, to remember, like, oh, because you can do transfers, stencils, stamps, decoupage. I mean, there's so many things you can do.
Tina, I would buy Missy some new jeans, except for those are brand new.
I didn't want to get paint on my good jeans.
And those are brand new. They're not old and worn. She bought
really
them
not.
that way.
Yeah.
I don't know why she bought them that way. My jeans don't have any holes in them.
All right. Don't touch that because it'll fall over.
You breathe on that, it'll fall over.
I know, it'll fall over. I'm just letting it dry a little bit. But I think to finish this project up, I would definitely want to just take my little sandpaper and just go around the edges because I am okay with a little bit of the red and the white peeking through. I think what the white did was really toned down the red.
You're on that camera now.
Oh, yeah, I'm on this one. Is it toned down the red? So I'm really okay with a little bit of the red. I wish that the Vaseline would have worked out like I wanted it to. But it just didn't on this piece. But it's really okay. Because I just wiped it all off and then I just went through and repainted it.
Maybe the Vaseline was too thin. I mean,
Maybe
was
I did
off
do
brand.
it too thin. Yeah. Either which way, it still turned out fine. So even though I went through and wiped it all back off and put a second coat on it and then just slightly distressed it that way, I was really wanting it to work out. And there's still some over here that I could wipe off. And maybe that was one of the problems is that because I was forcing it to dry instead of letting it dry naturally and then coming through and wiping off the Vaseline, that's probably my biggest thing. So if you do attempt to do it, I definitely suggest you putting your Vaseline on, painting it, and then walking away and then just letting it dry naturally. I'm not a big fan of heat gunning pieces of furniture, but for alive and trying to give you the gist of what I'm doing, that's the heat gun comes into play. But if you're at home and you're redoing your piece, just don't heat gun it. Just let it dry. It literally takes Dixie Belle about 20 minutes to dry.
Totally.
So you can, put your coat of paint on, go do something else. And if you're painting a big enough piece like that roll top desk, by the time you get to this end of the roll top desk, this end's going to be dry. So usually on a big piece like that, when I do like full-size dressers, by the time I get to the other end of the dresser, I can turn around and come back and start my second coat on this end because this end is already dry. But you kind of it takes about 20 minutes for the paint to dry. Then you can come through. And that probably would have gave me the look that I was wanting with the petroleum jelly. I should have just put it on there, painted it, and then let it dry. But you can also do the candle wax method, and that's where you just take the candle and rub it on the edges and then scrape it off. And then that gives you more of a chippier look, so more so than the petroleum jelly look would. But what I'm going to do is just let this dry and then take my little sandpaper and I'm just going to hit the edges, the top and around that right there, and then just do a little bit of distressing, and then I'm going to remind y'all what my stencil looks like without hitting that top. And then you have that.
Sorry, pup.
So on the inside of this, I probably would just like clean it up with Big Mama's butter so that way they'll give the wood just hydrated up. And then probably just go over this with a light sanding sponge, like a very fine, just to soften up this hard line that I have where my stencil met up to each other.
Donna said, I saw a piece like that top that they put hooks on the rod to hang cups and turn the piece into a coffee bar.
Yes. I think this one's too small for that. But sure. Yes.
The one we just sold at the store could have been used that way.
Yeah, I do have another piece at the store that has that. that you can do the same thing, and it's painted in vintage duck egg.
Margie said, I never could understand that. I can't bring myself to buy something with holes already in it. Amen. Tina said, same here, Margie.
Don't be tripping on my jeans.
Sandy said, very nice. Lisa Green said, I've learned so much today. Thank you both.
Oh, thank you.
Margie did hard eyes to the
Heart.
whole thing. And Tina said, that is great.
Yeah, I really like this color that I mixed up, so I'm excited to find some other stuff to paint up in this color. I think it's a pretty color.
It is a pretty color.
Yeah,
I
it's
will
very
agree.
different. Yeah, very different. It's not sea glass. It's more vibrant than sea glass.
Donna, this isn't an old dresser. This is like something handmade. I think it went in a kid's room, honestly. It's too small to be like a legitimate piece of furniture. Like
It's really small.
Our vintage washstands are always about hip height for the top, and then it goes up higher with your towel rack and stuff that's on the back.
If you had a big enough bathroom, you could easily put this in the bathroom because you could hang a towel here and you could store towels and or linens in here. It would be, I mean, honestly, I wonder if this is smaller than the shelf that we have in our bathroom, because I could use that for this would be perfect for our bathroom.
No, it's not small.
Yeah, but it's small, but it'd be a good blanket storage thing, and then you could hang something pretty from the little rack up there.
And you know what else tells me that it's handmade? Because that's made out of 1x wood, and it's pieced together in the middle, as opposed to an old vintage piece. It would have been routed and rounded over. They would have rounded over using a Roman ogee type setup, because they're always fancier for the really old vintage ones. So I'd say this one was built by somebody in the 80s.
Just hard
Probably for a kid.
It's a hard
I would put it inside a kitchen door.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed y'all, but I got to go eat lunch. That's what we got to do, too.
We got to go, too. Kimmy says she's worked hard enough today.
Yeah.
She's
working
stressed
on
out.
barking.
She needs a nap.
And then the lightning. She's been under my foot the whole time until I stood up next to her.
Oh, it's going to be a rough day for Cambone. Yep.
Tina said, what a cute pup.
She's a mess. Well, we appreciate y'all hopping on and watching with us today and hanging out and just all kinds of stuff. And we'll be back Tuesday.
Yep.
So
bye, y'all.
Bye.
Y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. If you're in a weather zone, stay weather aware.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Bye, y'all.